Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go. If you're waking up tired, gasping for air, or just feeling stressed when you wake up, guys, I know a lot of y'all are workaholics. I know a lot of y'all are like, man, it's got to just be I'm working too hard, man. It's got to be that, I'm just not sleeping. I don't know what it is, but it can't be nothing crazy. Listen, it is, all right? And we call it sleep apnea, all right? So I want to talk about this topic because it's been a pattern that I've noticed even more now over the past couple of months. But I've been doing this over 16 years, y'all, and there's a lot of people that don't realize, like their partner would normally tell them. This is how people typically tell it to me, and like their partner is telling them that they are snoring really, really loud. I have a coaching client of mine whose partner was telling him that he would be gasping, like choking in his sleep at times. And his wife started kind of like getting, a little fearful, like, all right, what's going on here, man? We got to make some changes here. And there's a lot of people that are going through this that's kind of like just brushing it up underneath the rug. And so some people, they don't know what's happening. Then others, they do know what's happening. And so I want to make you aware of how severe this issue is, okay? Because there's people out here, if it gets worse when it comes to sleep apnea, there's people that end up on machines like the CPAP machine. And so that way they don't like pass away in their sleep. This topic is really near and dear to my heart because my granddad, if y'all been rocking with your boy for a minute now, I talk a lot about my granddad. He passed away when he was 46 years old. And he passed away from sleep apnea, y'all. All right, he was 46. And he was a heavy set guy, but I was kind of like the family kid. I stayed with him and his two sisters, and, it just kind of like caused a lot of pain and stress in the family. And so, a lot of people don't realize how critical things can get, how, much of a strain you can put on your family by not go ahead and solving these issues. So I'm going to share with you 3 things you can do today to start really fixing this. And so that way you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So the first thing is this. There are some people who have, they have sleep apnea from a genetic, like a hereditary standpoint, and which means they're not overweight. Okay. You could just be, they could be in complete good shape, but they just have sleep apnea. We're not talking about that type of sleep apnea. We're talking about weight-induced sleep apnea, okay? And so if you've gained 20 or 30 plus pounds and you notice now you're tired when you're waking up, you're gasping for air, maybe even choking while you're sleeping, waking up out of your sleep out of nowhere, that's no good. That's not what we want, okay? And so the first shift that you need to make is lose the weight, okay? Studies show even just dropping 10% of what your weight is right now can start helping with the improvement. And so if you're 30, 40, 50 plus pounds overweight, don't just focus on the 10%. Just go ahead and solve the issue. Like a lot of people don't realize, not even just from like a sleep apnea standpoint, but even like high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes, people get on these medications and these supplements, and they're like, they don't realize these medications, they just manage the issue. It doesn't solve and fix the problem. Like I spoke to a guy the other day, had hypertension, and it's gotten worse. And one of the guys, he had it for like 10 years or something like that. And the medication that he was on with the hypertension led him to having kidney disease. This is what happens when people procrastinate and they're thinking that the medication is solving the problem. Like if your weight is continuously going up, it's going to get worse, guys. Like I've seen people go from taking high blood pressure meds to having kidney disease or something like that, and then from that to being on dialysis. It's not what you want. I see people who go from sleep apnea to now having to be on a CPAP machine, which is not a good feeling to have. You know, when you have a significant other, or even if you're trying to date and you're like, man, you know, you got to put that mask on to make sure nothing bad happens. Like, you don't want to live like that. That's, you know, that kind of like, it's not a good quality of life, man. You know, I wouldn't want it for you guys. Like, I'm coach. I want to make sure you guys are living a good quality of life from a personal life standpoint and also a professional life standpoint. And so you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself. This isn't just about vanity. Like most trainers just talk about weight loss. Over here, we're talking about like living in alignment with excellence. You want to look good and feel good on a daily basis. Okay. And so we got to drop the weight. How do we drop the weight? Of course, you want to hit the gym, but the number one thing you need to be doing is nutrition. Nutrition is 80% of weight loss, guys. Nutrition is 80%. You can't outwork poor nutrition habits. There's a lot of people, I'm about to start doing 10,000 steps, 10K steps a day. I'm about to start doing more cardio. I'm about to start hitting the gym every day of the week. Guys, the people who get really good results in my program, they not working out like crazy. They work out 3 to 4 days a week because they understand nutrition is the most important part for weight loss, energy, and overall health. And so make the shift. Start prioritizing your calorie intake, your protein intake. That way you can lose weight. That's going to help you start avoiding, because that weight that's on your body, on your chest, is basically like collapsing your airway when you're sleeping. And that's what can cause sleep apnea. But when you lose that weight's no longer there to collapse the airway. Okay? So that's the first thing you could do. Nutrition. Nutrition. Everybody watching on Instagram, comment diet. Okay? See how I helped you right there? I said diet instead of having to comment nutrition. Okay? The second thing you want to do, I know some of y'all might not like this, but you got to do it, man. You got to stop drinking alcohol before you go to sleep. And not even just alcohol, stop eating and then going to sleep. Okay? Like you don't want to eat 20, 30 minutes before you go to sleep and then just go to sleep with that food on your stomach, because that's going to disturb your sleep. You're not going to have like well-rested sleep because your body's trying to digest that food. And then studies even show, guys, when you're drinking alcohol, yeah, it could take the edge off, but a lot of times, even myself, if I'm drinking the old fashioned, I notice it, man. Like being very aware of how your body responds to certain things. I notice whenever I drink like an old fashioned, that next morning I'm a little foggy. It's not like just bad, but it's noticeable. And so that lets me know if you're drinking alcohol almost every night or wine almost every night, guys, and you have sleep apnea, guys, it's making things worse. It's like putting gasoline on a fire. It's making it worse. And so make sure that you're not drinking alcohol. That nothing really good comes from drinking alcohol outside of maybe like a good time here and there. But outside of that, guys, I'm telling you, when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to your overall health, when it comes to energy, alcohol is not your friend. And so drink it sparingly. But also, when you're eating your meals, especially if you have sleep apnea, try not to eat. You want to finish eating your last meal about an hour and a half before you go to sleep. And to go even further on this, go for like a walk. Like do like 10 to 15 minutes of a walk or some type of like really moderate pace cardio before you go to sleep, after you get done eating. Okay? That way your body digests that food and you have energy and you feel good before you go to sleep. Okay? That's a hack right there. That's a hack. Okay? These are the type of tips I give my coaching clients, but I want to give y'all some game today. So that's the second thing. And then the last thing is this. Go to the doctor. Especially my guys, go to the doctor, because we have to evaluate your progression. A lot of people can't evaluate their progression if they're not going to the doctor and they don't know. Like, how would you know if you're making progress? How do you know if things are getting worse? You won't know, guys. And so it's important that you go to the doctor to get a better understanding on where you are. And then from there, you start to implement these things like the nutrition to start losing weight, the exercise to start having more energy, right? The cutting back on the alcohol. And so that way, when you go back to your physician, they can say, hey, man, like your sleeping patterns are getting better. Hey, I notice your blood sugar's going down. I notice your triglyceride levels are going down. But you won't know this if you're not evaluated, okay? Even when people join my coaching program, y'all, like I'm a professional that's able to evaluate what you're doing. When my coaching clients, they're doing their workouts, they're doing nutrition on a weekly basis, we do check-ins. And when they do their check-ins, I can see what their weight is. I can see how much weight they lost. I can see their progress photos. And if they're not making progress, which happens sometimes, y'all, which happens, okay? I can evaluate what's causing them not to lose weight. But some people who procrastinate, they try to take the easy way out, and, they just like look all on social media. They waste a lot of time, and they waste a lot of money, and it costs them their health. Like, guys, like our health is wealth. Our health buys us more time on this earth. And so it's really important to take your health seriously. Take it just as seriously as you take your career and your business. You got to do your body the same way. Otherwise, when you're just trying to evaluate yourself, how can you truly evaluate it if you're sleeping? You don't know if you're choking, gasping, and you don't know these things. You just know when you wake up, you might feel a little tired. You might be a little stressed when you wake up. And so it's important to be evaluated. Get a professional to help you, to navigate, to understand exactly if you're progressing or not, or if things getting worse, okay? And so do these things. That way you can make the shift from having sleep apnea to having, 1, better sleep, 2, peace of mind, knowing that nothing's bad going to happen, all right? And you just have an overall better quality of life. Because we all know people who have more energy, we can do more. We can be there for the people we love and care about. We can be more productive in our careers. And we just live an overall better quality of life. Like I talk to so many men and women who, when they're tired all the time, they don't really get out and enjoy life because they're tired. And that's not the way to live, y'all. Like, we only live one time. So you got to enjoy this. The age you are right now, you only get this one time. Some of y'all have children. You only get this year with your child one time. And time is moving fast. I don't know about y'all, but time, it feels like it's moving fast. It's already about to be October, which is insane. And so, very important to be intentional with your time and not take it for granted. And so, hopefully y'all found this helpful. We out of here. Let's get it. Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable. And if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.